What's going on, my friends, and welcome to the Project Bike Shop. So I was out riding the other day with the lady and I noticed that my bike was making a creaking noise as I was riding through the trail. It wasn't all the time, it was like kind of sometimes, and it was like I got into this like steady little riding pace, and it was like green. I'm like, oh, I already knew what it was. It's my bottom bracket. So let's go through how to fix this. I have a Raceface effects crank. I have my GX 11 speed shifting setup, and it's very simple. So let's go through the process. First, we're gonna grab ourselves a beverage. Very tasty. Now, we're gonna go get ourselves a wrench. I'm going to use this one. Typically, I'm gonna be right around 55 Newton meters to tighten this. So, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put it to 60 Newton meters to loosen it. Why? Because I probably don't wanna make it engage. So I'm gonna tighten this up. And I can use something else, but this has leverage. 60 is the max. Set it right to 60. Boom. Loosen. Ready to loosen. Now, the first thing that we're always going to do is we're going to put this into the smallest cog. Meaning, I'm going to put it into the smallest cog. How do we do that? All the way down. Rotate it until it goes into it. All right, now we're in the smallest cog. Okay, now next step, push this all the way forward, and we're gonna activate this lock button. Boop, look at that. Now, I am gonna remove the rear wheel. Do you have to? No, you do not, but I just like to kind of get it out of the way. Why? I like to do that so I can inspect things. Gonna loosen her up. Don't worry about this adapter. I use I had my kid's bike on the little trolley thing on the back. Take that. Loosen. Pull her out. Axle. I'm gonna just reinstall this and put it off to the side for now. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this chain. I'm gonna just move it out of the way. Boom, because we don't need it. And I got all this room now. So, put this on here. I'm just gonna back this out until it comes out. Now, I will explain something. Now, the reason why this comes out without another tool is because this has a self-extracting nut, and I will remove it just to show you. Typically they're 10 mil, and it's on the outside. Now, as you see here, the inside's an 8 millimeter. So why is that? It's because this 10 millimeter that's on the outside, and one reason why I like the Raceface effect, I just dropped all the bolts out of it, but that's fine. All I dropped was the actual bolt and the washer. So, a standard crank setup, it has the 8 millimeter bolt on the inside. So when that bolt is on the inside, just like so, and you have this 10 millimeter bolt on the outside, as you go to extract your 8mm bolt and you loosen it, it puts pressure on this, which is why they're two separate pieces. So as you loosen, it forces it away from the bottom bracket that's down there. So we're gonna put this off to the side for the moment. Now, usually a lot of times these should pop right out, believe it or not. I'm gonna use this Allen key. There's one. The other one should go too. Or we can use this actual tool. This fits right inside here. She should go. Ooh. Probably thinking to yourself, oh, he ruined it. Well, no. So the way that these work, see how this is super smooth? Now, I was hitting on the face of this. So my block of wood on the inside was actually hitting on this outer area. I do have the tool, and this does work pretty well. It says right on here, press on this surface to remove. You can see where it says that, press on this surface. See, it says, press on this surface to remove. So, and they make the tool, and if you notice, the tool fits right over that. That's because the bearing, if you can see, does not actually ride on that section. So, if you notice, this is shiny and that looks good, and this is not. That's because this is where our water got in and compromised it. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to clean up a little bit. Clean up this, clean up the shaft, just wipe it down, inspect it, take a look at everything. Wipe my bearing down. Now these do sound pretty good. But see, there's no noise, like it's, and there's resistance to the bearing, which tells me that there's still a very substantial amount of oil, grease inside. There's a substantial amount of grease inside the bearing. So I want to wipe all this down, because I believe that that's where my noise was coming from. Now, maybe my crank wasn't that tight. Maybe it didn't put, maybe it just loosened up over time, which is very possible. This stuff does get loose over time. I'm gonna get a clean one. I'm gonna take my old one. Take the old one. And we're gonna wipe this out in my buddy alcohol. gonna get right in there. Now, these wipes that I use on these are these Sid Harvey's wipes. They're hand cleaning and surface cleaner towels. Now, that in combination with 99% alcohol creates a very, very good cleaning agent. I like to use both of them when I'm doing stuff like this. It really does clean very well. We're just gonna keep cleaning, that's all. All right, now that I've done that, I'm pretty happy with that, just wiping that in. So I'm gonna use some paper towels and dry this right up. Okay, so we finally wiped these bearings nice and clean. If you take these out and you notice that they're spinning kind of weird, they have like a noise to them, like a crunching noise, or you hear the sound of sand inside of them, or they don't feel, they shouldn't be like I shouldn't take it and like have it go like full speed ahead. There should be resistance to it. Like these are slow. These are still good. There's good grease in them. They're probably pretty well sealed up, and most of the time these are needle bearings, so they're probably pretty good. I know that this one is my non-drive side. Usually it tells you, but anyway, yeah. So this is it. So I have them, basically I cleaned everything all up. I cleaned up the inside of this. I let it dry a little bit. It looks good. So I'm gonna re-grease these and press these things in. I made my own bearing press. I used some 1/2-inch rod, some washers. I did purchase the Park Tool number 668. Number 668 cups that you would use for these. So one side is going to go, actually let's double check. So if you notice on this, it says press here only to install, which means that you want to be on the outside. So the outside of this cup fits right perfectly over here. So I'm going to take this, drop that in. I'm going to get that ready to go. That looks good. Actually, I got my washer that goes on there. Okay, that's ready to go. Okay, so I do have some grease here. I have some Park Tool HPG1. It is high performance grease. So I do have this little needle gun. We'll basically put this in here. I'll squirt that in there. Use my finger. Move that all around there well. Rub it in there nice. Get on that cup. We're going to do the same for this side. Okay, now that we got that on there, we're going to just do the same for the bearing. Just go right around the bearing. Don't have to go crazy. Just get it on there so that you can make a nice coating around it. All over the bearing internal face. Same thing there. Maybe just get it on my finger. Make a fart noise. I always make a fart noise when I'm putting on grease because it makes it sound better. So we're going to get some grease right on that outer edge. That way when I press it on, it really gets it in there good. So we have that one. And I'm just going to get that into place. Slightly just push it in. Same thing with this one. Slightly push it in. Okay. Now we're going to take our press tool. I'm going to slide this inside here. Put this one on. Put that in there. then basically tighten this thing down all the way now. Don't get me wrong, there is a Park tool for this, but for this case we're not purchasing one because, well, it simply costs, I think, like $100 and something, and I think it cost me probably $5 to make this tool. So we went that route. Just gonna use 2 adjustable wrenches. One on this side and one on this side. And I'm just gonna tighten this thing up and try to keep them even. We'll keep looking at what we're doing here. Tighten as we go. One side's going to stop because it's gonna hit the frame first. Just keep it lined up with the cups. Now, oh yeah, it goes right on. I'm just hitting it to keep it aligned so that the face of the tool is on the face of the bearing very, very nicely. Give it a nice snug. And that should do it. You don't have to smash it in there. It doesn't have to be Hercules in there. It's gonna go in on its own. And once it kind of stops, you should feel it. You don't want to go full send. Okay, now, so once we've gotten this grease on the shaft of this crankshaft pretty well, we're just gonna basically slide it right into place. We could do a little actually on the inside too. We'll just get it right on the inside, load it in there. Actually, I got some on the finger here. Okay. Now this should just slide right into place. Look at that! Oh my God, it's so greased up. That's the nice thing about re-greasing everything, is it kind of goes back together very well. Now we have our little ring here. Just give this a quick wiping. Wipe it down. Make sure this is clean. Right up there. Clean her up. Wipe it down. Nice. Make sure there's all the old greases off of it. Make sure this is clean. Boom. Nice. This is going to go back in. The red ring is going to go on the inside. We're just going to put a small amount of grease around the outside of the ring. Go around. Get it lubed up there nice. Boom. Now we're going to take our crank arm. We're going to just put some grease in here. Put it right inside there. Make sure that you make farting noises, because that's the only way grease goes in. You gotta go. Oh yeah. Get it all over the shaft. Yeah. Boom. That looks good. I was gonna put that other ring on. Would I want to do a 32? I don't know if a 32 will fit. It'd be pretty serious. It'd be close. This is 28 to 32. That's a big difference. But not today. I think I'm gonna keep it on there. I think I'm gonna order an oval 30. I think that would be appropriate. But for now, since that's what we're dealing with, we're gonna just basically reassemble. So I'm gonna put this thing into, I'm gonna set this to 55. Boom. Right on 55. Okay. Put this into place. Well, make sure my outer cap is on. It doesn't have to be very tight actually at all. It just kind of stops. That's it. You don't have to really kill it. It's only there for one purpose, and that's to extract. Sometimes it's easier to just take the head right off. That way you can do it by hand. You just get this lined right up. Boom. Into place. And everything will start to tighten right up. Boom. Into place. Put our gear back on. We're at 55 Newton meters. And then we start to tighten this thing right up. Just tighten it right up. Boom. Boom. And that looks good. Now we're just gonna wipe this thing up. Make sure everything looks good. Cranks back on. Got my bottom bracket bearings together. Everything looks nice. Wipe it down. Like I said, I didn't really have to take the wheel off, but it's kind of nice to just get it out of the way. And it makes the stand and everything's lighter to work on, so nothing's like moving all over the place. So I've always just found it easier to just take it off. Then you can kind of check everything out and make sure everything's good. Okay, so we're going to reinstall the wheel, and that's going to about wrap it up. Put this in here. Boom, right back into place. Okay. Push that forward. Now that's solid. My crank doesn't have any play. Everything looks good. And so that's basically gonna wrap it up for this video. So yeah, we're just doing simple maintenance here, taking this bottom bracket apart and putting it back together. You know, it's kind of the same thing for like a threaded bottom bracket. This is a press fit, which is a PF. I believe this is a PF 92. That's press fit 92 millimeters. If you have dial calipers, they're really good to have, so you can actually measure stuff like that, bearings, when you go to remove them and see what the diameter is. But some of them are threaded, so you use other types of tools to remove them. Very similar. You remove them, you clean them, you grease them, you can reinstall them. Or if you're going to be putting in a new bottom bracket, same thing. You're going to be cleaning it, greasing it, and installing it. So stuff like this is great. It keeps the bike running smooth, and it keeps it from not creaking. As you can see with what was going on down here, I had some, clearly water got in there. I probably never took it apart anyway. I'm pretty sure it was original. So it just wears out over time. So stuff like that is definitely important maintenance. So all right, well, have fun out there, and I'll see you guys out on the trail at some point. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Well, take care, have a good one. Thanks for checking out the Project Bike Shop.